to get underway. It's going to be Carter Gordon, the Queensland fly half. And here we go. Taken there by New South Wales inside their 22, and they look to truck it up through the centre. The forwards getting their hands on the ball early as Techek goes in looking for the ball, and they might look to clear early, and they do. The ball, though, is not going to find touch as Queensland pick it up through their fullback, Shaquille McLeod. He's up over halfway. Spencer Jeans now. Oh, big run there from Zane Nongor. Jeans comes back towards us on this broadcast side. The front row getting their hands on the ball early. That's Harry Vella. As Carter Gordon decides to play for field position, and the kick down the throat there. And it's claimed as a mark. So New South Wales 2 with a free kick out, but they're not looking for touch. So Carter Gordon decides to come back on the inside. They're going to have a run up through the centre. Oh, good work of the breakdown there from New South Wales. They forced a turnover. It might have been a forward pass. Oh, and Techek was away with an entertaining start. Both sides looking to play with the ball.
We see there Queensland probably a little bit disappointed there in the kick that they put in after getting some good possession early and a poor kick. New South Wales too responded with their own poor kick, but got the turnover, and yeah, you can see what their intentions are, Marty, and that is that once there's that turnover ball, they'll really look to shift to the edge and see if they can upset this Queensland team.
Our first look at scrum time, and there are some big boys in that front row, which I'm looking at Archer Holes and Zane Nongor. Gee whiz, I'm glad I'm not involved in this scrum.
You start to see these pack weights almost resemble the Super Rugby sort of pack weights these days.
It's absolutely phenomenal, and this is a nice contest, but it's come up a little bit in that front row, but Queensland get the ball out cleanly. And that's Ronan Cuppy with the ball in contact. New South Wales are holding him up, so he's going to have to find a knee. They might be in trouble here, Queensland. It's on the ground now, and they have won a turnover. As Carter Jeans did come away with the pill in the end, but the referee's already called the scrum, and you see Arthur Holtz there in the number 3 jersey. He was immense on the first 2 days of competition, and he's really putting his hand up and showing the selectors here what he's capable of.
They're definitely up for this game. You can see the excitement, and why wouldn't they be excited? There's 2 big turnovers in the first 2.5 minutes of this game, and they get a nice scrum here on halfway. A couple of options to go either side. Marty, we're talking on day one how impressed we were with the emphasis on set piece, particularly scrum, at this level of the game, and we know how important it is as we go into senior rugby, but a real strong emphasis on set piece, obviously led by the coaches and coaching staff of these teams, and it's great to see that attention to this sort of detail.
We saw the Wallabies build very well off their scrum during the June series against Ireland. That's been a big improvement in their game over the last few years. No doubt, thanks a little bit to Mario Ledesma, who's doing wonderful things with the Jaguares over there in Argentina. As you hear from the referee there, the Queensland front row pushing at an angle. So that's the first penalty of the match here, Stadium Nations Riverview, and it's going to be Minogue who kicks for touch and finds it just outside the 22 of their attacking half. And Minogue, a famous surname in the entertainment circles. He's, of course, the cousin of Kylie and Danny Minogue, the New South Wales number 10. First goal line out, and Techek gets it cleanly off the top. And here is Minogue now, and he spreads it out and finds a runner. And they crash it up through the midfield as Techek comes around, decides to keep pushing towards that left-hand side. Here's Minogue again, takes it to the line, nice flat ball, and they're away. That's the first line break, and it's come to favour. Nice quick ball from Techek, and he uses one of his front rowers to lay a platform inside the 22. And nice quick hands there, but Favour drops it just as they were looking to exploit that short side. And a little bit of a let-off there and a missed opportunity perhaps for New South Wales too, Ben Whittaker.
What I'd like to see there is New South Wales 2 just using the width of the field, but running nice straight lines, keeping their space and their options open on the outside. And you see there, they got the line breakthrough, Favour, and then came back one way. And then the halfback showed some tremendous vision there to look back down that short side on the left. Unfortunately, the ball couldn't be caught. And we've got a scrum here. Queensland trying to get out of their 22.
The exit, such an important aspect of all levels of rugby, and no doubt they'll be looking to get this one as far downfield as possible as they use their outside centre, Dennis Waite, to truck it up through the middle. And now they'll look to clear, and it's Carter Gordon, and he's got a good boot on him, but he hasn't found touch. But that one's going to trickle down nearly all the way to New South Wales 22. But they get a chance to run now, and they look dangerous with the ball in hand. He's holding it like a ping pong, and he flicks it out the back. Oh, and he's tried to throw it back inside. This will be an interesting call from the referee, Ben Whittaker. And it's going to be a New South Wales throw, so, gee, that was an exciting run. I think it was the fullback, Daniel Alla.
Which will start to have Queensland 1 thinking here that kicks that don't go to down the ground or out are going to be returned with interest.
Carter Gordon playing first receiver. As New South Wales nearly steal another turnover, as Queensland head out to that right-hand edge. Spencer Jeans finds a willing runner in Fred Futrell. Oh, an offside there. Thomas Hooper, it was pinned there. Tom Hooper had an immense game as well on Tuesday. And of course, this is day 3 of competition. As we see a replay here of Daniel Alla holding the ball like an apple wits and throwing it out the back, and very good effort there to keep the ball in play.
He hasn't found touch here, Marty. So
and he hasn't found touch off the penalty, so New South Wales back on attack. Nice clean ball again for Techek. New South Wales very physical at the start of this game, and here's Minogue looking for distance. But he's going to find McLeod on the full. So McLeod now a chance to open his legs, but he spreads it out to the right-hand side to Bennett. And Bennett's kick has been touched by New South Wales. So everyone's side, and New South Wales spot the space in the back, and that's superb vision. Is it going to hold up? It is. And McLeod decides to send it back down, and New South Wales might try to spread here. Minogue gets it out to Vincent Cray. In the hands of Connor Hickey. Connor Hickey finds Favour. Up to over the 22 now. New South Wales 2. Really applying the blowtorch. Oh, and a big run there. Sean Vivalata. New South Wales 2 looking for first points. Nearly 10 minutes gone. And they decide to go direct up through the centre. Techek spreads it to the left. Minogue out for the winger. And the referee's pinned him for a forward pass there. It looked very tight, Ben Whittaker, and another missed opportunity for New South Wales. All the possession, all the ball, all the territory, but no points to show for it.
A really constructive piece of play here from New South Wales 2. It started again off a couple of kicks that didn't go out from Queensland 1, and they returned tremendously, particularly down this right-hand side, and again used the nice width of the field and really causing Queensland 1 some issues here when they hold on to the ball. The coaches of New South Wales 2 will be really pleased with the execution to date, and it's just that, like you said, that finishing pass, Marty, which, you know, that one doesn't get ruled forward, and it looks like the winger on the left-hand side there is over for the first try of the match.
The Queensland 1 fly half, Carter Gordon just receiving some attention as we have a break in play here. It's been a fast pace to start here, and like you said earlier, it's the direct running of New South Wales. Some sides have been guilty the last couple of days of going side to side, but New South Wales seem very conscious of straightening up their running lines and playing direct.
Yeah, and that sort of direct play, that straight running, all starts at 10 and 12. So Matt Minogue from the King's School here in Sydney is playing a big role there in making sure that the attack's nice and straight. Vincent Cray from St Joseph's College, and then you've got Favour, who probably at this stage has been one of the most damaging players on the field. And you can see there, if they can maintain some space out wide by running straight lines in close, then they're really going to cause Queensland 1 some trouble.
Favour hails from Hawke's Bay, New Zealand. He's only been in Australia for 12 months and already making an impact on the Australian rugby landscape. He's a great build there at outside centre. I'm sure we'll be seeing much more of him in the future. There's a very solid scrum there from Queensland. Wins the ball back, and Bennett looks to kick with that left boot. And that is a good kick from Jaden Bennett. But the referee's coming back for a penalty. Offside, so
Number 13 in front of the kicker.
you heard it there from the referee's mic. Number 13, Dennis White, offside. As New South Wales have a choice to make, and it looks like they're going to take the 3. An interesting decision here. Wids, one you'd think would be the right call?
Yeah, I think they've maintained some good pressure here on Queensland 1. They probably feel they can get away with some points here. It's a good start to the game, within 10 minutes, and then sort of set themselves to come back off the restart. I think one of the real, sort of interesting and important parts of this tournament is the boys, right here. This is effectively a semi-final. We don't really get a lot of that in schoolboy rugby these days. So, it's like tournament play, lots of pressure, and a nice kick there from Minogue.
Minogue makes no mistake, straight over the black dot. So, just reward here at St Ignatius College Riverview with New South Wales. So far, the dominant team over Queensland 1. Of course, the roles reversed in the following game. Queensland 2 will be taking on New South Wales 1. But as you said at the start, Wits, it's not often the case that they are the first and seconds. It's a combined effort with the two squads as Gordon gets us back underway. Taken nicely there by New South Wales. And there's Arthur Holtz. Or it might be Lachlan Dring, sorry. Carding the ball up, and they've got a good platform as Techek uses a box kick, and McLeod collects it nicely, and he's got fast feet. He skips around Minogue, decides to take the ball into contact. He's hit hard and driven back. Superb tackle from Vincent Cray there, but Queensland rumble quickly. Jeans in at halfback. And that pass hits the deck and picked up by White. Gordon, good run from William Chaffee. Oh, good offload there from the front row to front rower. Here's Queensland, they've got some space. It's Bennett, he's one-on-one. He decides to cut back inside, uses the safe option. Or was it Glenn Vaihu? On the number 3, Zane Nongor goes looking for a try. He's 2 metres short. Playing advantage.
On the 5. 15 off his feet, playing the ball.
Queensland with their first real opportunity of the match, and they're finding some metres through the New South Wales defensive line as they get the social committee together with to decide the best course of action from this penalty.
And whenever that social committee involves half a dozen forwards, there's a good chance it's going to be a scrum or a line-out. And you see here, they're going to go to the scrum. The scrum hasn't been that stable from both teams at the start of this game, so it'll be interesting here how clean they can get this ball, but you could certainly see some of the damaging sort of roles some of the forwards and backs interchanging there in attack can play for Queensland 1. And if New South Wales 2 let them A, get the possession, and B, get on the front foot, Queensland 1 could be causing some trouble.
That's exactly what they'll be trying to do off the back of this scrum. By far their best attacking opportunity of this match, and taken straight off the back of the scrum there. Bailey Tatau, he worked hard. Superb leg drive, and that's the first 5-pointer. The number 8 off the back of the scrum, and Queensland with their first opportunity with the ball come away with 5 points.
We talked about how solid this set piece needed to be, and they provided a really good platform for young Tatau to come off the back, and he only had eyes for one thing, and that was to get that ball over the line. Like you said, Marty, good leg drive, nice support there in behind by the open side flanker, and he scores. He's been a handful all week Tau in that number 8 position. Very, very strong ball carrier and works very, very hard in defence. So just rewards for his efforts over the last 3 days.
That'll give them a lot of confidence in this game, knowing that with their first opportunity, they've managed to cross the white stripe. As Carter Gordon lines this one up. He's a big boy, Carter Gordon, isn't he? For a fly half, nice and tall, good build, and slots that one comfortably.
Beautiful levers for kicking. You know, your timing right with those levers. That's what he does. He's got plenty of skill, plenty of time, Carter Gordon, and he's one to watch. In fact, he was outstanding in last year's National Under-16s Championships and led the Queensland team to a dominant win over New South Wales in the final early last October.
So New South Wales now, they'll have to respond, and it's a great restart from Matthew Minogue, but Queensland come down with it in the hands of William Roach. Jeans now comes to the left-hand side. Great inside ball. And it might be Tatau again, steamrolling up, and the referee's playing advantage for a high tackle. Jeans now. Out to Nongor. Here it is, Bennett, the speedster. He puts it on the toe. We've seen this before. It's going to bounce up for him. He's still going. He's brought down 5 metres short. They go to the right-hand edge again. There's no one in front of Fred Futrell. And Futrell can thank Bennett for Queensland's second 5-pointer. What an excitement machine Jangala Bennett is. As we see on this replay, Nongor here with a great left to right. A-la Tongan Thor. And Bennett there skips around. It was great defensive cover by Daniel Ala, but he just couldn't slow down the ruck enough, and Futrell won't score many easier ones, Ben Whittaker.
Well, not dissimilar to how they sort of forced that first try with some fantastic interchange play between the forwards and backs. And young Nongor from the Southport School might find himself in the fly half position when he gets home to the beautiful spot on the Gold Coast next week. But you see there some great skills, finished off superbly, or almost finished off by Bennett with a beautiful kick forward, and that support there in the end. And like you said, Marty, a nice simple try on that right-hand corner.
You've mentioned it a couple of times now, Which the interplay of forwards and backs. It's an evolution of this game. You see guys in the front row playing like centres and fly halves, and we saw another example of it there. It's incredible to watch, and we see it again in Super Rugby level, and of course the Wallabies with Sekope Kepu is one that comes to mind, who's really good at that tip pass.
Yeah, it's great to see. It's great to see these guys doing it. I mean, it gives them an opportunity to really showcase their skills, as we see Carter Gordon come in to convert the try, which he does from the sideline, so showcasing his skills as well. But the players at this level playing that style of rugby get to really showcase their skills, and it's the type of game that we really want to see, because it's really hard to defend. You know, you've got these forward backs that can interchange, have skills, speed, etc. Then it becomes a game that's very difficult to defend and beat.
Halfway through this first half of Queensland 1 taking on New South Wales 2, and it was another great restart from Matthew Minogue, but unfortunately knocked on there in the contest. So
I'd love to see that
feed.
Correct, and I love to see that height in those restarts and putting it up contestable restarts. You know, so we're not sort of kicking long defensively to see if we can get a line it off the back of it. We're kicking short, high, with plenty of chase to see if we can win that ball and get into attack straight away.
I know this is the 15s, which we see it all the time on the 7th World Series circuit, how crucial that restart is to be able to compete for that ball. And Israel Folau is a phenomenal example, of course, in the Australian rugby system of how much of a weapon it can be.
Absolutely, and you know, possession's key. You've got the ball, you can score tries, and the more you can have it, the more tries you're going to score. That's why I'm on the expert seat here.
Mathematician,
come up with stats like that.
Head of high performance and king mathematician of Rugby Australia, Ben Whittaker.
Crouch! Bind!
Let's go,
the referee booms to the forwards.
Ready and now go! Pop, he's popped in.
Ball comes out clean, and Carter Gordon decides to play for territory again. It's a clever kick, but it sits up nicely for Vincent Cray. He wants it back. Or is it Connor Hickey? Connor Hickey with the run around. And New South Wales look to spread the ball now, giving Queensland a bit of a taste of their own medicine. But it's superb work at the breakdown.
Number 7, first man in.
William Roach
Good position over the ball.
doing what every open side flanker loves to do in that number 7 jersey. Head over the ball, holds his feet and causes the turnover.
Superb anticipation there from young Roach from St Joseph's College there at Gregory Terrace. You can see there though the intended New South Wales 2 is still there. You know, off turnover or ball kick to them, that they're going to have a red hot crack back in attack. And they did it quite well there until they just couldn't get the numbers at the breakdown to secure possession.
Great line out there, brought down by William Chaffee, and Carter Gordon decides to step inside 1. He steps inside 2. He's got the arms free, but he spills it just as the support was looking like they were going to go through the line. And Minogue will clear their lines, and they're under pressure as this one sits up nicely for McLeod. As he takes it up towards the line, he shows good feet, takes the ball into contact. He's got to find the ground, and he has. They come to the left-hand side now through Tatau, the try scorer. And that ball's put down by Glenn Vaihu. A knock on. So a little bit scrappy here from Queensland now. You see New South Wales go to the pine. Malachi Hawks on the field. (14-3), just under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Queensland 1, leading New South Wales 2, 14 points to 3. You're watching live on Rugby.com.au, the Australian Schools Championship from St Ignatius College, Riverview, as David Techek, the New South Wales scrum half, feeds the ball in. And it's a clean scrum, and Vincent Cray crashes the ball up the middle. Techek now decides to keep going left. Minogue with the ball in hands. It's favour. And he finds a runner on the outside. It's Daniel Alla. Daniel Alla showing great leg drive and post-contact metres to drive up over the 10 metres. As the forwards come in to do some work. Techek now, Minogue. Oh, big contact there from Queensland. They're trying to get their defensive line up quickly. As that ball's popped back up on the inside to Jack Winchester. Techek goes left. That ball goes to ground, but it's cleaned up. Out on that wing.
Get up, Tommy!
That ball goes to nobody. New South Wales lost about 20 metres there. Techek, Minogue. Oh, and that ball well above, and tried to keep it in, but the pressure from Queensland's defensive line coming up trumps there.
I said it before, we've got a little bit of a patch here where the defence is dominated. Now attack's a little bit out of shape. They struggled to really get any go forward. It's interesting to see how Queensland want to attack off this line out.
Oh, and it's pinched there by New South Wales, knocked on by Chaffee. He was being harassed up there by Lachlan Dring. So New South Wales get another opportunity with the ball. And we've seen them try to kick downfield, but there is quite a strong breeze here.
There is. You can see off the last scrum they had in almost a similar position. They just played the inside centre Cray up early and then sort of tried to play off the back of that. Probably think they're going to do something a little bit more creative than that off this play to see if we can just get in behind the Queensland defensive line and then play off the front foot.
And decides to take it up through the number 8, Aiden Kelso. Techek marshalling the troops. He finds a runner in Dring. Techek with the box kick, but it's straight down the throat of McLeod. Now it's in the hands of Vaihu, who decides to kick downfield, and it's a good kick, and it's going to hold up. So Joshua Risk looks for touch, and a good clearing kick just over the 22. So a slight reprieve for New South Wales too. But Queensland look like they're starting to find their groove in this game and settle into it, Ben Whittaker.
We'd have to think here that possession and pressure may tell shortly. So New South Wales 2 really have to defend staunchly here. Stop Queensland getting inside their 22 and then looking to attack. They've lost the line out again though. New South Wales 2 regained possession, and now they start to use the space. Favour tackled on the halfway line.
Techek in the New South Wales side looks to rumble up the middle. The New South Wales attack struggling to break through this defensive wall of maroon jumpers, and they're up quickly again. Glenn Vaihu takes it into contact for Queensland, and Jeans tries to find a runner, but the ball goes to ground. Here's William Roach doing some work up through the middle, fends away from one. And that's quick ball there. Ends up in the hands of the try scorer, Tatau. Here's Nongor, he's been huge, but the ball's been ripped. So New South Wales now with a chance to go on the counter-attack, and beautiful hands, Favour. He finds a runner. It's going to be a try to Connor Hickey. Or is it Josh Risk? It's Josh Risk with the 5-pointer for New South Wales over on that far side. We saw Tatau take it up for Queensland, and then it was Nongor, the big prop, and he had it ripped out. And a superb defensive play.
Try to, good opportunist try to Joshua Risk.
Hugo Patterson, and then Favour picked it up off the deck. And Josh Risk did the rest. Jangala Bennett was trying to catch him, but he couldn't. And just like that, Wits, New South Wales 2 are well and truly back in the hunt.
Well, it's good reward, Marty, for a New South Wales team that certainly hasn't dropped their heads. They're well in this game. 2 lineouts, one against the throw up here in sort of Queensland's attacking zone has allowed New South Wales to not only regain possession, but get their way upfield. And then, like you said, it's a fantastic strip of the ball off Nongor, but what was really good was he kept his feet, and then the beautiful offload, and they looked to go wide early. I love that idea that they looked to go wide early to space. And that's certainly where it was, and finished beautifully by Risk. Important kick.
Matthew Minogue trying to add the extra 2. He's kicking into a pretty stiff breeze, and he strikes it very nicely, but it's just away. So it's still a 6-point game. Queensland won 2 tries to 1 over New South Wales 2.
Well, if your weather skills are correct, Marty, then they'll turn after half-time with the wind at their backs, New South Wales 2, and it'll be interesting to see if they play a territory game off the back of that.
They've struggled with their kicking game a little bit so far in this first half, as Carter Gordon goes along. And here he is, that man who ripped the ball, Patterson. He takes on Nongor again. This time he's brought to ground. Big contact again on Arthur Holtz. As they look to clear now, and that's a big kick, but again, it finds McLeod, who juggles that one, but manages to get it inside to Carter Gordon, who goes into contact. Physical game, this one. Here's Nongor, left to right. In the hands of Vaihu, and he's getting taken towards the sidelines. The referee spotting a high shot. Anything above the shoulders will get penalised. Queensland turn the screws again. As we see the replay here, some great passing, some interplay with the forwards, and Vaihu did well to step inside, but popped the high shot from Daniel Alla.
Be interesting to see here if New South Wales 2 compete this line out. Like I said earlier, they got the pay in the last 2 in similar positions. So I'd like to think they'll put the pressure on Queensland here.
They do compete for the ball, but it's in Queensland's possession, and the forwards get their rumble on. They're going towards, but Jeans calls for it, and Gordon gets it, and Gordon steps off his right and finds a runner, but the ball goes down. It was running Cuppy. He went backwards, and they keep spreading it to the right. They found the space, and Bennett does get his try. We see the replay here. The forwards tried to rumble, and they were starting to get some good momentum. They started off a little bit sideways, but straightened up, and Connor Jeans said, let's rip it out to the right, and Gordon had a look, and Carpy put it down, but it popped up perfectly for Jeans, and New South Wales never recovered with their numbers on that far side. So another try to Jangala Bennett, who's been a live wire so far at the Australian Schools Championship.
Forward pack of Queensland there did really well, just almost released the ball as they were going forward, had the backline defence of New South Wales 2 on the back foot, and then the great thing that Queensland had from a backline perspective is they had options right across the field, both inside, outside Carter Gordon, and you see there the 2 guys playing wider in the fullback and the winger, and ultimately Bennett scoring the try, kept their width, and they became very good options for the halfback who picked up a drop ball. They score in the corner. Pretty crucial try leading into half-time.
And that conversion misses, and that brings an end to the first half. An entertaining first half, Ben Whittaker. Queensland 1 are leading New South Wales 2, 19-8. New South Wales 2 with the early possession and the early territory, but unable to cross the stripe, and then a couple of quick tries from Queensland.
You're right, Marty, and I think they'll be disappointed, that Queensland got in for that last try there, because they worked hard to get themselves in a position, capitalise on that strip to score the try to bring themselves well and truly back in the game. They're certainly not out of this game, but that will make it a little bit more difficult. But like I said earlier, you being the weatherman you are, you feel that the New South Wales 2 team will have the wind at their back. I think they'll look early to play some field position and put the pressure on Queensland. Early points, second half, and they're definitely in this game in a big way.
Well, we've got a very special guest for half-time here on Rugby.com.au. Sarah Friend with the Australian Schoolboys coach, Andrew Maloney.
Joined now by Andrew Maloney, head coach of the Schoolboys Australian side. Andrew, you're no stranger to this type of format, and you're head coach this year. How great was it to get the position?
Yeah, certainly very excited. We've got a very long program this year, obviously with the Tri-Nation Series in Brisbane, and then of course the trip in December to the UK. So it's an exciting program, something that we're enjoying to be part of, and I'm sure the boys will be excited to be part of it too.
We're right in the thick of it here, day 3. Just what's the talent been like?
Yeah, the talent's been strong this year. Certainly very pleasing. The sides have been well coached, and obviously the weather conditions are allowing us the attacking rugby, which we're excited about. But the most pleasing thing is, I'd say, the last couple of days has been the physicality from both sides, and obviously today a lot of the local derbies with the New South Wales sides taking on Queensland, and then ACT in Victoria and the combined states and WA. So it's been very physical football, so very pleasing.
Compared to last year, do you think these boys, here today and this week have really stepped up? Are they a new field of talent that you're seeing this year?
Yeah, like it's always pleasing. A lot of these sides don't have a very long preparation before they get down here, so to see them build as teams throughout is something that we want to see, and it's exciting to see. So it's very hard to compare at this stage. Obviously, we've got plenty more football this afternoon, and obviously on Saturday as well. So yeah, it should be good. I'm excited.
Do you think the selectors will have a tough decision making that final announcement for the Australian side this year?
Yeah, no doubt about it. There's a lot of guys firing off, and it'll be right down to the last minute of the last day, I think. So.
That side's still to be selected. So what's in store for these guys once they finish this weekend and go through to the next into camp or into the next tournament?
So at the end of this tournament, we'll be naming an Australian squad, somewhere between 40 and 46 players. Obviously, the boys will return back to their school programs and some of them back into their competitions to finish out. And then closer to around the August time, we will name the Australian Schoolboys and the Australian Barbarians team. So some boys have got some football left. Some boys, this is the end of their seasons. but obviously they'll get the opportunity to do some development training when they get home.
I understand you've got some overseas games this year. Those boys will be travelling. Just tell us where you're going.
The UK tour is at the end of the year, off to Scotland and Ireland. So an exciting program over there. Some really tough fixtures over there, so it'll be a great experience.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Stay tuned for the second half. We've got New South Wales 2 taking on Queensland 1. It's a really tight game. Keep watching on Rugby.com.au.
It'll be pretty hard to turn this one off. Sarah Friend there with Andrew Maloney, the Australian schoolboys coach and former Brumby, I believe, Ben Whittaker.
Yeah, he you know, had a pretty successful playing career, Andrew, down there in Canberra. And was just talking to Rod Kafer, who was around at the time when Andrew Maloney was coming through the system, and he said he was a very good back rower in his day, and he's working hard at becoming a very effective coach. And I mean, talking about Rod Kafer, who's running our high performance coaching development program, he's having a lot to do with coaches right through the system, including our schoolboy coaches in Andrew Maloney, James Hilgendorf and Brad Gill, and it's great to see, and we look forward to those guys developing and continuing to develop some of these great players that we're seeing here today.
Of course, the spotlight here is on the players. That's the main priority, but
it's a players' game, Marty.
It is a pathway for, as you mentioned, the coaches, the referees, all assistants, physios. Everyone can get a leg in here to be involved in rugby in Australia.
And I think it's a real big part of this week. It has been for a long, long time, and that is that the coaches are engaged in professional development. The referees, I mean, if you're a referee at this tournament, you get access to our national referee manager in Scott Young, our national referee coach in Mitchell Chapman. We've got Wayne Erickson here. We've got, they are really getting some outstanding support and development, and like you said, a whole lot of support staff around the teams that are also engaged in professional development.
Back underway here in the first New South Wales versus Queensland derby that we've seen here at the Australian Schools Championship, live on Rugby.com.au, and Queensland ahead by 11 points at the moment. As Jeans gets it out. And it looks like there might have been some personnel changes at half time. We'll get to that in a moment. As Jeans keeps the forwards rumbling through Tatau. Carter Gordon now spots some space and finds a runner. Oh, great footwork there from Ronan Kapi, and he breaks through 3 tackles to get them up over the 10-metre line. They're on the front foot here, Queensland early. In the hands of Dennis White, and he finds an inside ball that goes to ground, but Jeans cleans up, and the little scrum half goes into contact, and he's tackled. Picked up there off the back of the ruck by William Chaffee. Futrell puts his hand up for a carry and gets them just short of the 22, but New South Wales are all over it. Very unlucky not to steal the ball there, rather. New South Wales too. Oh, they have. They've pinched it. Fantastic work, and that kicks up over halfway, but it's going to come right back. You fancy McLeod getting the ball out there to Chaffee. Jeans organises, and Carter Gordon calls on the right-hand side. He puts it on the boot and cleaned up by Daniel Alla. But it's been taken to the touch, so a pretty clever kick there from Carter Gordon.
It was a good finish to a set of play after New South Wales 2 caused a pretty significant turnover there, but Queensland certainly not disguising their intentions early in the second half. They're not going to sort of defend this lead. They're going to play upfield and look to capitalise with more points.
Close the gap, okay? Keep it open, please. All good.
All good for Harry Vella. Telling the referee not to worry. And Jeans gets it to Gordon. He's been exciting, Gordon, and a great ball back on the inside of Josh Risk. Scored a fantastic try. To Ronan Kapi. The Queensland 23. Oh, nearly stolen there by New South Wales, but it's a knock on.
Well, Marty, just judging by the last couple of plays there where New South Wales 2 got their hands on the ball at the breakdown, you'd reckon at half-time the coaches have identified an opportunity. Maybe Queensland a little bit late on the ball They're going to send in some of their smaller back rowers to compete for the ball at any opportunity. And so far, 1 turnover and very close to securing another turnover just now.
This is almost the perfect attacking opportunity. Ben Whittaker at scrum. 20 metres out centre field for Queensland.
Marty, it's an opportunity that all backs love to see. And back rowers and opposition back lines in defence definitely don't want to see.
The ball out now. They go to the left-hand side. There's numbers if they can make it work for them. Vaihu goes to ground and Jeans finds a runner in Vanderschiff. Gordon now. It's in the hands of Harry Velo, who's brought down 2 metres short. Playing advantage here, not rolling away. Here's Carter Gordon. He spots a gap. Great pass out to the right-hand side. It's going to be a try. We'll wait to catch a number. It might be Thomas Vanderschiff out there hanging out on the sting as we catch a quick replay. As Carter Gordon gives it to Harry Velo, who lays a good platform there. They tried to get quick ball. The referee playing the advantage. And a great left to right cutout. Straight in the hands of Vanderschiff, and he's too big and too strong for the New South Wales outside backs. So the perfect start here for for Queensland 1, sorry. Going ahead 24-8 with the kick to come.
And Marty, you called the great attacking position that Queensland had off that centre field scrum, almost 30 metres out. They went far left, used the width of the field. You saw them come back to midfield with some of their big ball carriers in their front row. And then you saw the skills of number 10, Carter Gordon, all the time in the world, and threw a beautiful left to right pass to hit the eventual try scorer. You can see him play nice and flat on the line on that third force phase, which really forced the defence into 2 minds. Great play.
And the only thing stopping that kick going through the posts was the wind that seems to have picked up here, Ben Whittaker.
We need to punch that a bit more, that one. I didn't have enough wheat bix this morning, but it was on line, on target, just didn't have the legs.
There's the restart from Matthew Minogue, and big hit there from New South Wales too, getting up in the face of Queensland 1. As Carter Gordon goes looking for touch, and that one was right on target for your noggin, Wits.
It'll be hard to miss my big head, mate.
Well, luckily we've got this marquee up at St Ignatius Riverview, as the ball's about to get thrown in by Jack Winchester. In their attacking half, and it's an overthrow. The New South Wales 2 have managed to hold the ball. Out to the right. Juggled there, but they've managed to hold on to Winchester. Gets the ball out to the right-hand side. Some good work there from his support players as Techek continues to probe down this right-hand edge as Vincent Cray takes the ball up. Techek getting good, clean ball here at the breakdown, and it's coming to him quickly. He's an industrious little halfback, David Techek. So that ball out to Matthew Minogue, finds Vincent Cray, palms away from 1, keeps his hands free, pops up an offload to Favour, pushes away from 3. He's 1 metre short. Techek goes himself. New South Wales desperately close. Looking for their second try, and the forwards try to go themselves. I think it's Arthur Holtz there with the ball. They still can't break this Queensland defence. They come to the left. It's in the hands of Winchester. Quick ball here for Techek. Here's Matthew Minogue. Out to Vincent Cray. Steps off the right. He's 1 metre short still. Queensland go looking for a steal. They don't get it. Techek looks for his wing. Oh, what a tackle. Jangala Bennett, one-on-one. Oh, and a beautiful pick and go. Zach Barnabas spotting this base down that short side. Just reward, but that Queensland defence was impressive, Ben Whittaker.
Definitely made them work hard for it, didn't they, Marty? And I think, it's great signs for New South Wales too. They can come back in this fashion. It wasn't easy. You see even there the tackle from Bennett, which stopped him in his tracks. He was able to regain his feet. And then the flanker there, as all good flankers do, particularly number 7s, was never going to let that ball go. And it included taking it over the try line for a really important 5-pointer for New South Wales too.
Great vision there from Zach Barnabas. He looked up, saw there was nobody protecting the short side, and from 2 metres out, he'd be hard to stop anywhere, but impossible with no one in front of him. As New South Wales now call on the pine, and it's a full front row change. So Julian Heaven, William Smith and Malachi Hawks are all on the field now as Matthew Minogue lines this one up 2 metres in from touch. And he strikes it nicely, Matthew Minogue. And just under the crossbar again. Might be a wee big shortage here at St Ignatius Riverview, Ben Whittaker.
I'll have to check that out, mate, because it was a beautiful kick, wasn't it? It was judged almost to perfection with the wind. Just faded from right to left. Just went under the crossbar, unfortunately.
Well, like we've seen for this whole match, neither side's willing to give an inch. Queensland 1-24 leading New South Wales 2-13 as Matthew Minogue decides, let's play it down their end. And that's a good kick, and it rolls an extra 15, 20 metres before Carter Gordon decides to play quickly. And his pass hits the deck, and it's in the hands of McLeod, and that's a hell of a punt from McLeod, and it's gone back down to the 22-metre line. What does Minogue do here? He spots a gap down there, and it's going to sit up nicely for Carter Gordon, and he can reef it. But he might choose to run. He chooses to run. He tries to step inside, but he's crunched there by the New South Wales forwards as Queensland do some good work at the breakdown to secure that possession. Zane Nongor trucks it up for Queensland, and Jeans looks to the left. Oh, big hit, New South Wales 2. Here's Gordon. Now it's Nongor. He goes to ground, and Queensland are working out of their half nicely as Jeans does a little box kick, which might find its way into touch. No, picked up there by Minogue, who puts it back on the boot, and it might be knocked on there from Carter Gordon as he puts his hands on his knees.
A couple of kicks there, Marty, that really, like threading a needle. Firstly from Jeans there. Probably looking for a bit more distance than that, but Minogue right on the spot and kicks it back to the opposition 40. One little wrap I want to give here is the two halfbacks, Jeans and Tychek. They're just all over the field clearly because they're halfbacks, so they're at every breakdown. But the amount of work they're doing in defence and attack is superb, and in clearing the ball from that breakdown, they're showing a lot of technique and skill.
Definitely. We saw Techek here last year, of course, so he had the experience 12 months ago, and he's come on and leaps and bounds. No doubt this won't be the last we see of the New South Wales 2, number 9. As he'll be the one to feed this scrum 10 metres inside New South Wales 2's attacking half. Strong shove from Queensland, but it's a penalty, and he decides to play quickly, and there's a gap up the middle. It's closed very quickly, though, by Dennis White. There's a pick and go from the New South Wales forwards, and they're getting closer to that 22-metre line you can see on your screen. Minogue now out to the right. Vincent Craig gets it one further to Fiver. And he's brought down. There's Techek again, and good defensive line speed from Queensland. They might have forced a turnover here. They have, so beautiful work there at the breakdown, and it's going to be Bennett on his left foot. No, he's going to run. He skips past one, he skips past two. This looks familiar. And they play a knock-on advantage and pumped downfield by Glenn Vaihu, and Vincent Cray has a chance to settle before he kicks long. An intelligent kick there from Vincent Cray. Carter Gordon, will he use his long levers? He does.
Keep moving back, guys. 5.
And he decides, let's have a rest and play a line out 5 metres short of halfway.
We talk about them having a slight rest. I think a lot of them out there will need it, particularly the tight 5. They've been working really hard using the width of the field. We'll see a couple of substitutions here.
And it is Techek coming off, and he is absolutely empty as he makes his way to the pine. So it'll be 20 minutes for Cooper Chambers to make an impact. As Queensland lose the ball forward. New South Wales, lose the ball forward. Giving Condon a chance to run. Boom! Arthur Holtz. He didn't miss him, and it's Nongor. So the big boy's starting to make an impact. Out to the left, that's in the hands of Vella. Oh, great offload, it's Nongor's in space. He passed back on the inside. It's Jangala Bennett. He's got a double. A try from nothing for Queensland 1.
Well, Marty, I reckon I've just blown my so-called expert cover again. I was just about to talk about the tiredness out there that I was seeing, some errors creeping into the game, and then we see an explosive attacking foray like that from Queensland 1. And I tell you now, Nongor and my friend up there, Mike Wallace, who coaches the TSS first, has dead set got Nongor in the number 10 jersey when he gets back to the Gold Coast, because that was beautiful vision, passed early, obviously the support to begin with, and then a fantastic support line there from Bennett in close, straight up the middle of the field. And he's a beneficiary of some really good work early from the Queensland forwards.
Yeah, fantastic work. I think it was Kelso, the number 8, with the initial mini break, and as he hit contact, he managed to get both his hands free, and that was the initial offload that set up Nongor, who, like all good props, are following up on the inside widths as a support runner, and like you said, he's shown incredible.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that first break was made by the hooker, Tyrell Kapua. Kapua, but fantastic. You're right, mate. He got the head and shoulders through, and fantastic support from Nongor. And there's the 2 points from Carter Gordon.
A little bit of slice on the conversion there, Wits, just like your drive off the first tee usually.
Absolutely.
So New South Wales 2, every time they seem to get themselves back into it, Queensland have a response. They trail now by 31-13, and it's going to take a mighty effort in the last 15 minutes to make up the difference. Oh, good run.
Referees.
The referee's been bowled over.
Yeah, red scrum.
Tell you what, Marty, it could have been a bit awkward for the referee too there. He just didn't get bowled over. He got caught between at least 2 players, if not 3. But he's bounced straight up.
The referee there, he was caught by surprise. We might catch a replay, have it here on the screen. You can see him there in the bright orange shirt. And they came from all angles for him.
He's been sandwiched there, and one of the real great things about this week so far has been the communication from the referees. And even here you see that opportunity to have a little bit of banter with the players, and it's so important that these referees are immersed in the game and part of the game, and they're showing that today.
Yeah, not just future Wallabies on show, future Super Rugby referees, international referees, and potential World Cup referees, as Daniel Alley goes for a bit of a dance, and he's around the outside. Whoa, he takes on Spencer Jeans, who didn't take a backward step, and they take the quick tap of the penalty, and they're looking to play quickly and play through the Queensland 1 defence. Out now, good defence, Carter Gordon and Daniel Condon. They're doing well at slowing the ball down here, Queenslanders. Cooper Chambers decides to head to the right, and a big hit on Vincent Cray by Roach. You can hear it there come through the mic. They want line speed from Queensland, and they've had plenty of it so far in this match. They come to the left. Oh, great offload and second phase play. Here's Minogue. He finds a runner. They need to go one more, you'd fancy, but the sensible option, go to ground, and Queensland are all over this ball. The referee goes to the pocket.
Right. Gone off your feet and played the ball. It's 10 minutes.
Spencer Jeans, he's been phenomenal for Queensland, but they'll be without a halfback. As he takes his spot in the naughty chair. As you see him there, he looks like he made an effort to get back to his feet, but I guess he didn't come back through the gate. And
I think you're right there, Marty. And the Queenslanders had their numbers there, and back on replay there, the New South Wales player may look back and say maybe should have given that to the winger early, give him a shot one-on-one into the corner. Queensland there in numbers, but unfortunately, I think you're right, mate, didn't come up or get to his feet and come through the gate. Penalty to New South Wales too, and in true attacking mindset, they're looking for a scrum here to launch an attack.
They need to score quickly to get themselves back on the scoreboard and set up a grandstand finish. It's going to be Cooper Chambers to feed this one, and Kelso picks it off the back and gives it to his scrum half, and Minogue decides to have a crack and pick and go there. Queensland again throwing the ball down, and they've managed to steal it. Fantastic work. The William Tatau, the first try scorer of the game, the number 8. The Queensland one was all over that ball.
Well, we heard that the coaches of Queensland earlier calling out line speed, line speed. It's been a dominant part of their game today, Marty. You see there again the pressure, both in line speed, in defence, but then on the ball once they make the tackle, has been telling.
So as we tick over into the final 10 minutes of this match, Queensland get a quick line out and it's clean, so looks like Daniel Condon might have gone into acting scrum half now, or is it Carter Gordon's going to take that role? Carter Gordon gets it out to the left, and they're holding him up here, and the referee's called maul, so he needs to find the ground, but it's been pinched. So here go New South Wales. Oh, flick out the back. They go to ground. They're playing with an extra man at the moment with Spencer Jeans showing a yellow card. Chambers goes looking, and it's in the hands now of Cooper. Great defence again as Tatau went looking for another pilfer. Didn't quite get there as Minogue looks to the right. Vincent Cray. He's been held quiet by Queensland 1. As they go to the right-hand edge, and they have a bit of success down there as looks like Angus Bell's out there on the field now as Chambers gets crunched in that pass. Oh, great pop. Here goes New South Wales. They're up towards the 22. Minogue out the back. Cray. Favour. Oh, he's through Favour. He steps off his left. He's got support on the right, and it's going to be a try. Favour. He did it all himself until he saw the runner on the inside. Very unselfish in that final play. You can see here Vincent Cray. It's a great backline move. Favour, bang off the right, bang off the left. Goes off the left again, pops it up, and a try to Sean Vivaletta. And New South Wales hit back again, Ben Whittaker.
We called young Favour earlier in the game, and he's he's probably been one of the most dangerous ball runners, you know, throughout the 50-odd minutes that we've seen this game being played. They played out the back. They're quite deep, but it gave Favour the chance to have a one-on-one out wide, and you see with that real strong fend he's got, he was able to break the line and some fantastic support to finish the play. And we're going to have a pretty frantic, I'd say, 8 or 7.5 minutes, Marty, to finish this match.
8 minutes left in the game, but Queensland have someone in the sin bin, so they're down to 14.
Spencer Jeans still on the sideline, so New South Wales with the one extra on the field at the moment, and cleverly Carter Gordon decides to play the ball long off the restart. So New South Wales, they're not afraid to hold the ball and try and run it as Violetta bumps off 3 or 4 before he's taken to the ground. Chambers now in scrum half and finds Minogue, who goes out the back to Cray. That combination starting to click. Oh, and he's found a mismatch. The ball's back on the inside. He palms away from another one. New South Wales, here they come. They're making good meters at the moment. They decide to come back out to the left-hand side. Violetta again. He's been immense. Chambers in at scrum half. He's being harassed there by Condon. Good hands from the forwards. Queensland have been able to compose themselves here as Minogue finds Crave, finds Fiver. Oh, that ball hits the deck, and all that hard work and the pressure they were starting to build, Ben Whittaker, they've released the valve.
Certainly a shame there, you're right, Marty. They were really starting to, you know, edge closer and closer, using their big men in close, a little bit differently to how Queensland have played this game. So they've sort of mixed up, as we said before, this interchange between forwards and backs and used forwards out wider, whereas New South Wales have concentrated their efforts around the edges with their big ball carriers and then look to release, you know, out the back and use the space out wide with these dangerous runners like Favour. So disappointing there that they just weren't able to capitalise or finish. With a scrum here to Queensland, the players looking quite tired.
It's going to be Jangala Bennett to feed this scrum with Spencer Jeans on the sidelines. We can see him here warming up. He'll be ready to get back out there and make an impact in this final 4.5 minutes.
You wouldn't be surprised if Bennett here almost goes himself. Fantastic with the ball in hand, isn't he? He's like electric with feet and a nice little left foot kick. Why not just send him up off the base of the scrum, Marty?
He's very, very special talent. There's no doubt about that. Jangala Bennett could be a trademark headgear in the years to come. So 11 points in it as the clock ticks down. Of course, 30-minute halves here at the Australian Schoolboy Championships. On the ball pops out, and New South Wales nearly dived on it, but they knocked on in the process. So another advantage for Queensland, and Bennett gives to Gordon, and Gordon chucks on the boot. It's out on the full by the look of it. So they'll come all the way back. An error there from Carter Gordon, who's been very good, I must say, off the boot today. That'll be just about his first error.
We'd think New South Wales 2 here need to score points pretty quickly. They need to crash over at least twice.
They're back to 15 now, Queensland, but Spencer Jeans replaced by Ryan Stowers. He's up through the middle. New South Wales 2, as Ben Whittaker said, they need to score quickly because they'll need to score twice. This is one way to go about it. They've gone out to the wings. Oh, and he's breaking through too. He's going to go over. New South Wales 2. The bench is up, yelling at them to quickly get back into position.
That's a fourth try for New South Wales as they come storming back.
We'll catch a number for you in a minute, but
23-31.
31-25. As that one went out through the hands. Angus Bell with the last pass. And he broke through two. And Carter Gordon couldn't stop him. And that's a superb try. Ben Whitaker, it's going to be a grandstand finish here.
It is, Marty, and you can see again there out on the edges, there's some beautiful hands, second last pass, or last pass to the player on the wing. Showed some good skills, great balance, nice fend, strength, and over he goes for a crucial try. We called it, they had to score in that phase of play, and they have. It leaves them just under 2 minutes to respond.
5:31 with about 3 minutes to play.
You know, true semi-final tournament football being played here, with the winner progressing to the final here on Saturday.
Yeah, it's all at stake here. A minute and a half to play as Carter Gordon goes long again. Fielded by New South Wales too. They're full of running at the moment. They've definitely got the momentum. Four points in it. New South Wales, they've looked fantastic with ball in hand today. As Cray looks up and he decides to kick. He must have got a call. But they've lost the ball there, so here come Queensland. Van der Schiff scored a try earlier in this half. Stowers comes to the right, and it's, oh, good defence here from New South Wales. They drive them back 15 metres. Almost back to halfway. Here's Stowers to Gordon. They find a runner. It's Mahina. Gordon again in good position, and he wants them on the outside. And Carpy's got it. New South Wales need the ball back. Queensland doing very well in possession here as it's trundled up through to Inona. Futrell now with the ball. Here's an opportunity. Ronan Carpy steps around a couple. He's still going. He throws the ball on the inside. Good handles. And the referee might have a... Oh, he's been taken off the ball. Looks like they might have stolen it. They have. New South Wales have got the ball. They'll get one more crack. Pick and drive. They come out to this left-hand edge. Minogue. Condon holds on. Flicks it back into Minogue. They give it to Vivaletta. And they get a penalty. So a bit of relief here for New South Wales. You fancy they'll kick for touch and try and use the line out.
They will, Marty, and 3 years ago, this wouldn't be, or 4 years ago, this wouldn't be a play because there was no option to kick the line out after full time and get the throw. But in the last 3 years, thanks to some trialling in the National Rugby Championship through Rugby Australia, this is now in the laws of the game. So after a penalty, after full time, kick for touch, play the line out.
Here they go, they've won it back. It's the last play of the game. The winner plays the final on Saturday. And it might have been turned over by Queensland. Oh, it comes back for Chambers. Vincent Cray's into the backfield. He's still going, Vincent Cray pushes away. Oh, and the ball's hit the deck. And they're claiming it. Angus Bell's claiming the match winner. A huge call here from the referee.
Red. Be happy that he's in touch. Oh, he's not in touch, sorry.
It's a try, New South Wales 2. They've stolen it at the death. Angus Bell with the match winner. Unbelievable scenes at St Ignatius College Riverview. As we see on the replay, Queensland thought they turned it over. And Chambers, he found Minogue, who found Cray, and Cray with a push and a step, found himself in the backfield. And as he threw it, it came backwards off Jangala Bennett, and Angus Bell was Johnny on the spot. Ben Whittaker, what a finish to this match.
Well, it just proves again, Marty, that you never, ever give up. They had, they started down on their own 22 when they turned over the ball after continuous phases from Queensland. And they've gone all the way up here. And then that fantastic run again by young Vincent Cray from St Joseph's College, who's caused some big troubles for Queensland.
And Minogue ices the cake here as the bench is cleared. It was a true 23-man effort. New South Wales 2 come from behind to defeat Queensland 1, 34-31. Ben Whittaker, what a match we witnessed.
Well, what an awesome game of under-18 schoolboy rugby, Marty. And, New South Wales never really, they certainly weren't in front, I don't think, for any part of the game until the final whistle. But they stayed in the game. They stayed in the game through some real, energetic, strong running in close by their big forwards. And then they were able to maximise that space on the outside, and they took their opportunities. And, obviously, we talked earlier, even before the game, that it's not uncommon for one of the New South Wales or Queensland 2 teams to upset the #1 teams. And, that's what's happened today. And New South Wales 2 find themselves in the final. I mean, Queensland 1, great effort. Again, you saw that interchange between backs and forwards. It's a really nice style of play. They just weren't able to sort of finish off towards the end. And like I said, to New South Wales' credit, they just stuck at it.
A real 23-man effort. David Techek, the New South Wales 2 scrum half, was immense. He came off. Cooper Chambers got about a 15-minute shift in, and he was everywhere.
Well, I think we talked about, with about 15 to go, we talked about how tired the boys looked, and why wouldn't they look tired? You know what I mean? They've worked hard, not just for this 45 minutes before that point, but for 2 big games before that over the last 4 days. And we talked about, you talked about the substitutes coming on and the impact they could play.